Hello all, and welcome to my next art topic video. This will be about various media, and as you can probably already tell by even the introductory videos in my art topic section, media can be a whole lot of things. Traditional and typical digital media is narrower, but still there are some differences. Starting off with traditional types of media. I mentioned some of them. You got everything from your standard pencil and pen to specialized artists' pencils and pens to mechanical pencils and very fine tip pens that a lot of artists work with. As far as your own preference, what type of those you use is up to the individual artist. Personally, I use mechanical pencil and artist pen typically. India ink I like a lot. I like those because they give you a nice dark permanent inking lines when you're done. But only use that after you finish your pencils. As far as coloring media, you have things such as anything from crayons to oils, acrylics, gouache paint, all sorts of different pigment medias. And if you don't like the messiness of paints and having to possibly use paint thinners, you got colored pencils, markers, and all sorts of different brands and styles and types of those media are just everywhere. Yeah, you can probably, as I say, tell just exactly how many different types of media there are just by going to, say, your local art store. As far as digital media, mostly that is going to be choosing your computer drawing program, and then you're going to choose your tablet. I will be talking a little bit more about tablets in another video, but generally you got a choice between touch and non-touch tablets, which means that they respond as you can draw on them with a finger or the pen that comes with them. And you got a choice between screen and no screen. Again, like I said, I'll get a little bit, more into detail about that when I do my video on tablets. And as far as your choices for your drawing programs, you got anything from Photoshop, which if you want to spend money on a drawing program, that's probably your best bet if you're intending to spend money on one. But if you are not intending to spend money on one and you do not wish to spend money, probably your best bet amongst the freeware types of drawing programs is the one that I use. It's GIMP. And it's totally free, and basically like free Photoshop in a lot of ways. It has a lot of the same features. To me, it didn't seem like it took as much getting used to. Now, I have a sort of watered down-ish version of, not the full version of Photoshop Elements, which is just basically slight editing of pictures and photos, and then adding certain special things, such as if you want to add frames and things like that. But it's basically a touch-up program is all I use it for. I don't use it for the actual meat and potatoes of drawing. But yeah, Elements is a kind of like a bare bones version of what Photoshop can do. It doesn't really have much of the drawing capacity that the full Photoshop that you have to pay for has. As far as other types of media, you have what you're actually drawing on, you have things such as sketch paper. You can even go with simple copy paper for especially if you're going to scan it and color it in digitally with your mouse or with your tablet. And generally that will work. That will be fine. You just scan it, you just draw it on even a simple piece of copy paper as long as it's blank. I don't recommend using any sort of line paper. It doesn't make your finished drawing look professional. If you want your drawing to look as nice as it possibly can be and as professional as it possibly can be, I do not recommend using any sort of ruled or lined paper of any sort. Completely blank. Like I said, even if it has to be copy paper, as long as it's blank, you can scan it in and color it once you get your lines even penciled and inked. And as far as other types of media, you got Bristol paper, you got Bristol board, you got various types of boards with paper already on them. Bristol, like I said, Bristol board and other types of boards. You got black board, scratch boards, things like that. And then of course the last most common for heavy pigments such as oil or acrylic, of course you would use things such as different sizes of canvas for your media for that. And that pretty much wraps up media types. Again, like I said, all sorts of choices if you want to be a hobbyist artist, especially because you're not sometimes as restricted as a hobbyist artist as a professional artist is. They tend to develop more into one media, one style, one type than a hobbyist artist does. We tend to kind of try our hand at a little bit of everything. But anyway, I shall see you next time, and I hope you enjoy. Remember to subscribe if you like.